come lay down on your mat on top of a soft foam roller. You're gonna make sure your hips are on and your head is fully supported. If you need to add something or scooch down a little bit, go for it. Arms go either wide as you can have them, cactus style, or if you need to put like a block or a pillow underneath your elbow. We're just gonna breathe here for 5. Weight is in my feet. 3. Trying to let my chest open and just relax on the foam roller. And 5. I'm going to take my hands towards the ceiling, and then I'm going to shrug my shoulders gently towards my ears 5 times. And then 4 times. I'm moving slow because I'm trying to make it feel stretchy versus aggressive. This is 4. Last little shoulder shrug to the ears and relax. Now arms are going to move towards the ceiling because shoulder blades are moving away from the spine. And then as the shoulder blades move towards the spine, it's a little bit like you hug onto that soft foam roller. 5 of these. So there's 1. And 2. And 3. Trying to be aware of not going too far in either direction, especially if you start to feel tingly in your hands. Last one. Good. I'm going to turn my arms into this kind of like tricep extension position or into a cactus, and I'm going to open and close for 5. Elbows stop roughly above my shoulders. 4, or a little bit lower, further towards my knees. 3. Shoulder blades are moving. 2. Shoulder blades are moving. 1. Arms come back out. Arms come down. For the next portion, you can opt to grab a set of light hand weights, a dell, or in my case, I've got a weighted bar. You could also put a towel between your hands. So I'm going to put my thumbs with my fingers and turn my knuckles towards the ceiling so that the back of my hand lines up with the back of my forearm. All right, I'm going to take a little bend to press it towards my chest, just letting my shoulder blades move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hands come up. Arms stay straight. I'm going to take my bar all the way down towards my thighs for 5 and slowly back up. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands come back up to shoulder height, and I'm just going to draw lines from left to right. Not going to go very far, just feeling my shoulder blades move. Keeping myself on top of this foam roller. That's 2. Go both directions. 3. A little bit like a typewriter carriage. 4. And 5. Let the bar come down for a second, or just your hands. When the hands come back up, we're going to draw small circles both directions, feeling the shoulder blades move against the soft foam roller. So, 5 small circles in one direction, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in the other direction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hands come back down. Arms come up, so hands are over my shoulders. I'm going to bend my elbows narrow for a tricep, just feeling things move. 1. I'm not squeezing my elbows towards each other too tightly, just trying to feel how things in my back move. 4 and 5. Great. The bar is going to come down, so are your arms, and then you can either grab weights or move on to just doing these with your fists closed. So I'm going to bring my hands together like I was going to do hug a tree. I've got a bend in my elbows. My hands are a little bit lower than my shoulders if I was standing upright. I'm just gonna open and close from my shoulder joint. 1, trying not to let my elbows, 2, come too low. So maybe they don't go much lower than my shoulder joint. 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna do it with a single arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. 5, 4. Still just the shoulder. 3, 2, 1. Alternating sides. So 1 and 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, and 5. Arms come down by your side. Next, we're going to move the foam roller. So you're going to roll off to one side and bring it up behind your neck, making sure hair, shirts, whatever, are not in the way. Legs stretch out long. And I want to feel really supported so that maybe even like those bones kind of at the back of my skull feel like they're touching onto something. So I'm going to start out, arms relaxed down by my side. You can have your knees bend if it's more comfortable for you. I'm going to take my legs long and just kind of relax them. Start out by nodding chin gently just in the center towards your chest 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn your face slightly in one direction. Chin gently nods towards the chest again 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Roll all the way to the other side. Same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Face rolls back towards the ceiling. Now nod the chin up gently, like you were saying what's up to somebody across a parking lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back the first direction, so to my right, chin goes up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Head goes all the way to the other side, same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Face back to center. Let's draw some circles either with your nose or with your chin gently. Let's go 5 times one direction, so you kind of start towards the ceiling to one side. Down and over. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Same thing, opposite directions. Up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Ooh, give yourself a little head turn side to side as needed. Deep breath. Turn your head to the other side. Same thing, big inhale. Big exhale. Face comes back to the ceiling. Okay. From here, you're also going to need to pick up your head and your hair and anything else that might be in the way. We're going to bring this soft foam roller underneath the upper back. So we're thinking about mid-back to just below where your neck starts. So I'm going to hold my hair because I've learned my lesson the hard way that you do not want your hair or your hoodie or your shirt to get caught underneath this. You can keep your hips down and find yourself going into a little extension and back up. Play around for a second, scoot down, maybe it's mid-shoulder blade, a little higher than bra line. Scoot down another like 2 inches, a little bit more extreme feeling through the front of my pecs, or that big muscle that runs underneath most of my breast tissue. And then you're gonna pick your head up and just kind of maybe hover your bottom or pick it up higher and gently roll to this maybe mid-back, not really past the bottom of your rib cage. And just rolling forward and back. It's like a baby bridge. I do have my core a little engaged, so I'm not letting my butt hang out and dust, although if that feels good and it's not causing you strain on your low back, go for it. So I'm just gonna roll forward and back, maybe making these a little bit longer as I move. I can feel my hamstrings, they have to work to pull me back, hence being on a nice mat surface. Got some Rice Krispies coming out of my knees. Maybe 2 more rocks each way. And then you're gonna come set yourself down on your hips and let this upper back, maybe right around the tips of your shoulder blades, come to rest against the soft foam roller. Hands come behind your head as support. And you're just gonna start lowering your head back. Maybe your elbows need to be tight if your shoulders are bothering you, remembering to pull those armpits down. Or maybe your elbows go wide, if that helps you find a little more extension. I'm just dragging myself now forward and back, keeping a little attention to not letting my elbows dangle. And just rolling from like bra or bro line up and down. Scooting for 5 and 4 and 3. Oopsie, that's the hair thing I was talking about. And 2 and 1. Cool. Rolling over to one side and coming to lay kind of this back of the armpit, side of the upper back against the foam roller. I'm gonna bend my bottom arm. You can put the elbow down, you can hold the hand up. I'm thinking down. And I'm just gently gonna roll myself either by using both legs, or you can bend your top leg to roll you a little bit through here, forward and back. You can also rock. So let's do both. A little rocking, a little rolling, maybe a little rocking and rolling at the same time. And I'm gonna put my hips back down, stack my hips, stack my knees, stack my ankles. And with this, I'm just gonna rock forward and back, feeling a little bit of that top shoulder blade connecting down towards my spine. Maybe I add a little bit more of an opening of the chest and rotation. So maybe I'm rotating top elbow down towards the mat and then up towards the ceiling and back. 3 more. 2 more. And 1. Good. So we're gonna come do the other side. Just rolling it on over. Coming to put either bottom leg long, top leg bent, maybe rolling myself a little forward and back, getting into that side of the armpit. Only rolling, again, like that bra or bro line, mid-back, not really down to my low back. And you can put as much or as little pressure as you want into a soft foam roller, which is one of the things I like about it. And I'm just rolling. And then maybe I add a little rock to my roll, or it's a little bit like a side bend, but also a little bit like I'm smashing my own serratus into this, which is like that big back of your armpit plus some other stuff. Oh. And then I'm gonna put my hips down, stack my knees, stack my hips. And I'm just gonna start by rocking forward and back, seeing what my shoulder joint is on board with. If it helps you to pick up the bottom elbow, you can. I find it gets me a little too tight, so I'm just gonna keep rocking forward and back. And then I'm gonna start adding some of that twist in there. So my chin is roughly following where the middle of my chest is as I move through space. Let's do 2 more. Rotating elbow towards the floor or towards that soft foam roller and away. I'm gonna roll onto my back, securing my hair And give that little spot in between my shoulder blades a little bit more rock against this upper back and this soft foam roller. Yeah. Making sure I'm not dropping all my weight onto the floor just yet. And now let's move this to our low back. So you can put your knees into a bent position and then lay down, or if you're still laying down, just lift your hips. And we want to think it's not just like underneath your butt crack, your butt cheeks. It even comes higher than that to where like those dimples are towards the back of your hips. So you have a fair amount of the weight from your butt and your pelvis sitting on top of this foam roller. I'm just gonna start out with my feet down, getting a little twist, side to side, maybe rolling more or less, depending on what feels good. I like to hold onto my foam roller with my hands. It just gives them something to do. And it also makes me aware of what my upper back is or isn't doing as I rock side to side against the foam roller. Then maybe one more each way. And knees come back towards the ceiling. Feet are going to step in a little bit closer to hip distance if they aren't already. With my hips heavy on the foam roller, I'm going to bring one leg in towards my chest, and then I have a couple options for the other one. It can reach out long and stay off the floor. You can bend the knee, or you can take it long to get some stretch through the front of that hip. I go easy with how much I crank on this, so I may bend my knee a bit, and then I'm just finding a stretch here, pulling this other hip in towards my chest. You can get real bendy with it or not. Today I think I'm going to keep it kind of under control, so I'm just getting a little stretch. I'm getting some stretch through the front of my hip here. Feels pretty nice for 5, 4, 3, 2, still breathing, and 1. We're going to switch to the other side. So other leg can either go out long and hover or reach up. Knee could be bent, can take it down low. Other knees coming in, giving it a little gentle pull. How much or how little you pull kind of depends on what feels good to you. I'm a little bit reaching that long legs heel away from me to get a little more stretch through the front of my hip. And just a little tug of that shin towards my body without feeling like I'm trying to shrink the side of my body at the same time. And then I'm going to bring both legs in at the same time. All right, 5 breaths here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both legs come in towards the chest. Once you bring your legs to tabletop, you're going to get a little twist. How far you go depends on what feels good to you. So you're just in tabletop doing a nice job of keeping your thighs close together. How far away your knees are from you kind of changes where you feel it. So I'm just rocking side to side and then taking my knees gently away from me a little bit. 2 more. One more. Whew. Coming back into the center, I'm going to twist as much as I feel like. I can let my legs come down towards the mat. Arms can even reach behind you and breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees can come up and then over to do the same thing on the other side. So you're breathing for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Knees come back up to the center. Come to seated on top of your foam roller. You're gonna have your feet planted and you're just gonna roll yourself on and off your sit bones gently, trying to kind of release the cheeks as you do it. If you find a spot you like, if you lean to one side and you want to lean into that a little more, you can. You can intensify it by taking your hand or your forearm down to the floor behind you and just rolling it back and forth. 4, 3, 2, 1. If we do it on one side, we got to do it on the other. So you start out and you're getting a little rock to one side. You can take your hand out or bring your forearm down and rock in and out of that for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Coming back to the center, I'm going to roll over my sit bones. If you want to, you can take this so far as to roll into your hamstrings. Kind of requires putting your hands down if you need a little lift. Sometimes a block is helpful here. I'm going to put fists down and flex my ankles a little. Be nice to my knees. I'm just getting a nice little rock of the back of my thighs against this foam roller. And you know, since I'm doing one side, I should probably do the other. So 5 more rocks here. 4, 3, 2, I'm really pushing down through my arms, and 1. And now I'm gonna come flip over so that I can roll out my quads. So forearms will come down on the mat. My legs go long. You can have your toes down to help push you around. You can also bend at the knee, up to you. We're just rolling forward and back for 5, for 4, for 3, 2. Notice that I'm not going over my knees. And 1. That seems self-explanatory, but like, you know, be nice to your kneecaps. They're expensive to rehab and replace. I'm just rolling. Maybe you roll over to one side and you bend the top leg so that you can rock on that leg on the side of that thigh or down the side of that thigh, as the case may be, for 5, for 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to flip over to do the other side. Getting up and onto the side of the hip and the thigh, bending that top knee. I like to lift my bottom leg. It just gives me a slightly more intense feeling. You can keep it down if you want to. Rolling more towards and down the side of my thigh for 5, 4. My top hand is down helping. For 3, for 2. There we go. And for 1. Wonderful. We're going to roll out your shins for a second. So you come to quadruped and you put your shins on top of the foam roller. You can tuck them in underneath you. You can have your toes down and rock on and off of it. I'm just going to rock back and forth a little bit, moving from my toes and off of my toes for 2. Still pulling my core up and in. You could make it more intense if you want to, depending on how much weight you're putting down on your shins and how bent your knees are and how much this does or doesn't make your toes cramp. Just gonna lean into them. I'm gonna have my toes down and my ankles flexed. I'm just trying to get a little extra foot stretch here. See if I can find a good place to kind of rest my ankles on top. And I'm just finding some amount of stretch. Maybe I roll back and I use this foam roller for a little support to kind of stretch the back of my feet some more. Can I just open my chest up a little bit? Trying not to get into my really sick internet-addled millennial posture. Just breathing. If it feels okay, you could even come forward and put some weight on the front of your ankles, front of your feet. You can have your forearms down. Got a lot of options here. Rolling it in and out for 3. I'm just piking my hips up 2, 1. I'm gonna put my knees down. My head can come down. I'm just rolling my ankles one way. And then I'm gonna try and remember how to roll them the other way. Big old child's pose. Hands can reach forward or back towards your hips if your shoulders prefer that. And then we're gonna come. And then we're gonna call it a day. See you next time.